Hi everyone.
Welcome to Chubby Chats.
My name is Pamela.
And I'm Astrid, and today we're going to talk about the pandemic and how we've lived through it since its beginning.
I think more like the beginning.
How long has it been?
The pandemic here in Mexico? 3 years?
No, I think we're nearing 4 actually. It started March. I graduated in 2020. It started March 2020 now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm counting the months. But what year are we in?
No, but what?
2020, 2021, 2022.
3.
Yeah, it's been 3 years. We're nearing the 4th year.
We're starting the 4th year.
No, we're not. It's only June.
We're literally starting the 4th year.
It's June.
Yeah.
How are we starting the 4th year?
From March 2020 to March 2021 is 1.
Uh-huh.
To March 2021 to March 2022 is 2.
Uh-huh.
So then we're starting the 3rd. I'm very confused right now.
I don't know what just happened.
Yeah, me too. It's felt like so much longer.
I thought it'd been 5 years.
No, for sure not.
Where did things progress, like, faster?
Huh?
Because I remember, okay, I guess
so basically,
yeah,
we're basically, like, talking about the beginning stages of, like, the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not, like, right now. Because I feel like right now, it's really, like, freaking weird everywhere. Like, in Europe, everybody's out and about doing whatever they want. Like, everything's back to normal. In the U.S., too. Here in Mexico, apparently we're, like, over it. Like, we're in semáforo verde, but, like, nothing...
No, we get over and then we get under it and then we get over and then under it. Like, we really just...
No, but the past couple of weeks, apparently we've been, like, in semáforo verde. But, like...
No, the past couple of months, supposedly, we've been in semáforo verde.
Yeah, but what...
That's what I'm saying. But what? Oh, yeah. Like, there's different, like... It's, like, different perspectives for us because, like... Well, for different things, but Pamela was living in...
I was in uni in Groningen, so I was, like, living there.
And I was here in Mexico finishing high school when it all started. Which, my heart goes out to you. To the graduates of the 2020 season. Because,
high school graduates.
Because most of us didn't have graduation.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, like, for me, I remember, like, hearing about COVID. And then it just being, like,
Yeah, but knowing you probably never read the news, just, like, really figure out what it was.
No, like, I read the news more than you do. But, like, I was very, like, because I'm very active on, like, Twitter and everything. So, like, I do read, like, sometimes, you know, on Twitter they put, like, these little briefs of, like, the news video. And then they put, like, a little summary of things. And so there was, like, a lot of, like, things about COVID. And I remember, like, at first, like, people really weren't discussing it. It wasn't, like, a thing. And then, slowly, I remember when, like, people started talking about it. And then some people were being, like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, what the hell is COVID? Like...
In your school?
Yeah. And then being, like, literally, I've never heard of it. And then people, like, trying to explain it this and that and blah, blah. And then I remember, like, having discussions with, like, people saying, like, yeah, but, like, if it happens here, like, there's no way they're gonna, like, shut down the whole country, basically, you know, like, it's just not gonna happen.
Why? Because, like, you were saying, like, how things were in China or what?
In...
Italy or what?
Yeah, in Italy and in Europe, like, seeing how, like, things were developing and everything. And I guess...
But they hadn't shut down Italy then.
No, but they had started, like, closing things.
The borders and
some
stuff?
borders, yeah. And so, like, I think slowly, like, people started saying, like, no, but there's no way that... It's just because it had never happened, you know? So it was, like, a...
Well, it had happened, but not, like, in our lifetime.
Yeah. So, like, it was, like, kind of unimaginable. I
Well,
think that, like...
no, sorry. Let's rewind that. It had happened, like, Ebola and all of that, but, like, nobody really cared because it never targeted us. Like, you know?
Yeah. And so I guess, like, for us, ignorant people, we were, like, there's just...
We probably thought we were too privileged to
There's
even, like...
no way, you know, we're untouchable. Like, it ain't gonna happen. And then, like... Actually, I think it was, like, finishing February where, like, there had been, like, word of, like, you know, we might not have...
In your
like,
school?
We might not go to school for, like, a week or two because of what's
everybody
happening.
thought it was going to be, like this.
Yeah, and then, like, parents, like, starting to complain because they were like, how the hell are you, like, having schools open when like we're going through a pandemic, and there's children like all over the
stupid
globe
parents
that have stopped going to school, basically comparing ourselves to like the European countries and what they were going through. Like suddenly we were Europe, and so a lot of parents were like, oh my god, there's no way.
And then like Jesus was like, you want to complain?
Like, no way. Like you're letting our kids go to school right now and whatever. And so I remember, yeah, like there was a lot of discussion of like, dude, because it's just so embedded in my mind. Like I had a literacy project like just the end of the week, and it was this open discussion that
how the heck do you remember specifically? Oh, I remember one project now that we were thinking.
Trauma. Okay, no.
It was a big trauma.
But I remember like we had this literacy project, and Pamela was actually flying to Mexico at the end of yes it was because
well yeah, but not to do, it had nothing to do with like the pandemic. So like just back up from that thing, like I was gonna come in March, like at the end of March, because my grandparents' anniversary.
Yeah, it was their 50 years? I think it was 50-year anniversary.
Like a big one, okay? And like I was gonna come and surprise them, and I was gonna stay a week, and then I was gonna go back. And like that had been planned for a long time, like before the New Year's.
The stench, Pamela, the stench.
Oh yeah.
There's like something rotten in the kitchen, and we said we were gonna go check it out, and we never did. And then every once in a while I get a waft of it in my face, and I can't cope.
But yeah, like that had been planned before the New Year's, and like life had been like good. Like in December I had gone to visit a friend in London, and I had come to Mexico and all that, and like even through all of that I knew I was going to go in March to Mexico. But yeah, like that's
so Pamela was gonna come, and that's when like the chats about like school, I think like it had already been decided that like the week that I think it was the last week of February, like when that last week of February ended, we'd like not have school for like 2 weeks. But Pamela was coming, and I wanted to get out of
in
doing
March?
that. Yeah. And I wanted to get out of
like the 2 weeks thing, was it in March?
Yeah. And I wanted to get out of, no, actually, I don't know when it was, but like it just aligned to the fact that like you were arriving I think 2 or 3 days before I had my literacy project. And so I remember like I didn't want to do that literacy project, and so I like went and I asked like the teacher, and I was like, hey, teach. So like here's the thing, because they were getting more intense with their things. Like if you have a cough, if you sneeze, if you are a little bit hot, like you can't come into school, you know.
Oh, that, like yeah.
And so like I went and talked to the teacher, and I was like, hey,
teach.
Here's the thing, teach. Like I would be so happy to keep coming to school, but like my sister is flying in from the Netherlands, and you know how things are in the Netherlands.
And specifically a town really near the Italian border.
Yeah, and I was like, so just want you to scope out things, because it's not like I'm gonna be able to separate myself from her, and she's obviously flying in a plane full of people. And so I don't know what do I do about it? And then they were like, yeah, no, you probably shouldn't come to school. Like, just, I think I would have missed like 3 days of school, and then it would have been like the 2 weeks off. And I was like, oh, okay. And so that was it. Like, I remember even texting my friends, and I was like, guys, I'm not coming to school, blah, blah, blah. And then like,
oh, you dumbass.
And they were like, wow, my God, lucky you. Like, wow, you're getting like 2 weeks off the holidays. And I was like, yeah, I know, it's amazing. And so then I remember saying goodbye to my friends like that day, and I was like, oh, I'll see you guys.
At least you did say goodbye to them,
you know? I was like, see you guys, but it wasn't even a proper goodbye. I was like, see you guys in like 2 weeks, like, bye, you know. I remember one of my friends like walked me out of the car, and she was like, oh, lucky you. And then, you know, I was living my best life, having my holidays. 1 week passed, 2 week passes, 3 weeks pass, and I still haven't seen my friends. And then 4 weeks, and then 5 weeks, and then 5 weeks turned into 3 months.
Yeah, but when did things turn around? Like,
I think literally 2 months passed for like the online school to like start.
No, but like for you to say, oh, this is like serious. This is not serious.
After, like, I think
like we need to take care of ourselves. We need to like all that.
That took too long for me. But
what do you mean it took too long?
Well, yeah, because like I think maybe those in those 2 or 3 weeks after like we stopped going to school, like the whole like city lockdown went down, because they had said like take care of yourself and don't go anywhere and blah blah blah, and we didn't. Well, mom and dad did, but like I didn't. But also like nobody in the city really gave a sherbet, and so Like,
oh yeah,
really nobody cared. Like, here, very responsible.
That's what I'm saying. You, not the city.
I was not going out, but like,
no, but when did you notice that like you had to?
The thing is that I didn't, because I didn't go out, and so like to me, I guess I hadn't like put into perspective the fact that like the city has gone into lockdown. And I was like, I think preoccupied to the fact that like
you're not going to school.
Yeah, I was like, oh my god, like, not having school is fun and everything, but like when we get back, I'm gonna have a lot of work to do. Because
you're such a
no, because I was taking like extra tutoring classes for my mocks, my IB mocks, and obviously those were canceled. I was doing I was doing my science experiments for my science. Yeah,
what is it called?
Assessment, internal assessment. Was
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, but like this is all fun and games, but like
I need to go back and do those.
I was like, what's gonna happen now? And so like,
oh my god,
and then I had like my business studies. Like I needed to do like this whole like investigative part. So I was like, this is really fun, and I enjoyed my 2 weeks. But what the heck am I gonna do?
We had the schedule fun, but now we need to go back on schedule.
Yeah. And so that, I think I was more concerned to the fact of like, dude, I'm doing the IB, but I'm not doing the IB. So I was like, how am I gonna do the IB by not doing the IB? And that's when, I don't know at what point, but we got word of the fact that like we weren't having the mocks, and I was like, thank you, Jesus. You know, so I had a lot of ups and downs during the but I think the point where like it really hit me was when, and sorry for the turn of events, but when Dad's family member passed away.
Oh.
Then I was like, Pamela, you can't laugh.
I'm sorry, Jesus. It's just like Astrid's perspective is so weird.
Where I was like, oh, like this is intense. And so I think that's where I started, like, because honestly my mind was on like, dude, I'm not doing work right now and I need to do work. And so when I was like I heard people getting sick and I heard of how bad it was, but I think my mind was like more preoccupied to the fact that like, how am I gonna finish my IB studies when I'm not doing anything? And so when that happened, I was like, okay, I should probably start paying more attention to like what's going on in the world outside of me. And so that's when I started going on Twitter again. I started reading on more things, and I was like, oh crap, this is bad. Then the mocks got canceled, and I was like, this is bad, because that is history going down.
Yeah, literally. I think like they were the first generation not to take the IB mocks.
Yeah. So I was like, wow, this must be bad.
And I was mad angry too. Like when she said that, I was like, oh, no way. No, there's no way. Like the IB has been going for 50 something years, and just now they decide they're not going to take the mocks, when they're the most torturing experience of someone's life when you're doing the IB.
Like the GCSEs, as if they were, I don't even know if they canceled the GCSEs, but like the equivalent of, for people
a bit higher up, but yeah.
But like, yeah, like I was like, I remember just thinking like, this is a joke. Like people are going out of their minds, and so they made this up.
So they made this up.
But then like I were like going.
Everybody's getting cabin fever, like, you know.
Yeah, it's like I
where's
look it up.
Johnny?
I looked it up, and like even seeing the official like IB thing saying like there are gonna be no mocks, like I was still like, what a funny joke.
They're on crack,
like,
these
almost
people.
April, so like, April Fools to alleviate the tension. But like no, like I didn't have mocks, so everything was like on my internal assessment, which panicked me even more, because I was like, okay. So
oh yeah, oh my god,
all the weight of my grades lies on my internal assessments, of which I have not been able to complete like the like practical like part of it.
Oh my god, and you couldn't even have the meetings with your teachers to like ask them, am I doing okay?
Yeah. And so that was like, I was very stressed with that. And then, yeah, I went through a lot of ups and downs in the pandemic now that I think about it. Because then at first I failed the IB, which had me like bawling my ass out for like a whole day, because I was like, I just went through this immense amount of stress for me to fail the IB. And I was like, okay, so I was like bawling my ass out because I was 2 points away from like passing. So I was like, okay, and so I was like crying and crying and crying.
Yeah, it was very intense. And then like
a week later, but that was like an issue with like a lot of people who took the IB.
Yeah, I don't know what the IB was thinking. Like they were literally high on crack or something. Like I don't like, if you don't take the mocks, which literally is like a way to predict like what you're gonna get in the IB. Like I don't know how they got out, like how they got the prediction out, and like if you don't take those, then you don't know what the average level of everyone in the world is. So you don't know how you're gonna have to grade the exams or whatever the fuck.
What they did though was that,
and you also didn't have. She also didn't have exams. Like she.
Yeah. So they said like because you're not having the exams, like the whole weight of your grades is gonna lie on your internal assessment. And people are like, okay, I guess so. But then like the grades came out and I was like, what the heck? Because people's like predictive grades normally are maybe like 2 or 3 points off.
Yeah.
But this time it was like
But there
10.
was no predictive grades.
No,
like,
there was predictive grades, but people's predictive grades were like 10 points or even 15 points off. So people are like, this is really
But how did they do the predictive grades if you don't...
That's what they said. They said, like, people are like, so please explain, like, how you did this, because how, basically, are people getting, like, such terrible grades? And then they were like, oh, yeah, well, basically, we took the results of the last 5 years.
Oh, my God, that's
and then
so
put them all into
dumb.
a chart and basically got your results and then averaged them out. And I was like, but how does that work if the past 5 years people were taking the exams along with their internal assessments?
Yeah.
And then I guess the IB was like, oh yeah, crap. That like really doesn't work. and so they went back. They literally had to recalculate.
Also, wait, on top of that, like going back in timeline, Astrid did the first year of the IB in Finland, and then she did the second year of the IB in the US, well, not the US, but like in Mexico, which, if you know anything about the international bachelorette, is like divided into 3 time zones, which is Australasia, Europe, and what do you call it, like America. And it is a universally known thing, which I don't want to sound mean, but it just is, like Australasia and Europe have the highest score, and then America has to have a completely different like scoring system because they're lower in the IB scores than everyone else, which is like fine because it's still an IB, but they're just considered a part in like the whole IB thing. So did they say they were taking specifically the American one or just everything in the world?
I'm not sure. Like, I don't know what happened, but yeah, a lot of people were pissed off. There was people like reaching out to the news. I think if you look up like IB results, there were news articles of like literally titled "The IB ruined my career, my
because
dreams."
it's such an important thing. Like if you're actually doing it, like you put so much effort, stress, and tears into that. Like it's so important. And
I honestly think it was only because of the social pressure that the IB really like accepted. Like, okay,
they did something wrong.
Let's recalculate everyone's. Let's recalculate everyone's like results, and they went back to recalculate literally everyone's results. I ended up getting the 2 points I needed to pass the IB. So yeah, like a week later, not even, I think it was more than a week, like I got like an email back saying, you know, you passed now. And so I was like, oh, thank you, because honestly I you know, don't take my example, guys, but I wasn't like a great student. So when I did things, I did them to pass. I was never one to strive for the highest grades. Like for me, like I was okay with average. Like that was how I got by in school. And honestly, I wasn't a bad student at all. I absorbed things fairly fast. So I got by, period.
No, wait. Like, I think, like, personally, and I think Astrid agrees, like, I think grades are so freaking stupid. Like, they don't say anything other than how much you agree with what's already written in a book or in an exam. It doesn't say anything, because I feel like we're pretty smart. And, like, we literally could talk about any other things that we learned in school with someone in a very intellectual level. But then when it comes to the exam, they ask such stupidly worded questions that, like, you're like... like, yeah. Like, yeah, so, like, just to pass, I think it's fine. Like,
yeah.
To each their own, like, you know.
I was happy with just getting my points to pass the IB because that's what I wanted, you know? I was like...
The certificate?
Yeah, I was like, I don't want to reach for the highest grades because I will not have a life if I do. And honestly...
Well, if you want to do that, like, that's totally fine.
Like, go for it. I respect people who do. But I'm a person who cherishes my experiences very much. And I would pick, like, hanging with my friends and making memories over spending my nights.
Unless you're a genius, like that one dude in my school who like literally did note studying and got 30 something points and then ended up being a tutor for the IB. Like, it's fine. Like, you can do that. Like, if that's who you are. But, you know, like, to each their own again.
Yeah, I hate smart people. Anyways, but like, yeah, like I went through a lot of things that, like, I just saw that I went to a lot of things. And the pandemic, then I didn't have my graduation, and
yeah. Oh my god, and then her graduation was so freaking sad because of the whole, like, dude that, like, yeah.
I mean, because I had my graduation online, and it was very awkward, but, like, basically teachers prepared speeches, some students prepared speeches, and then, unfortunately, we had a student in our grade who passed of cancer. The first year I got there, I was fortunate enough to meet him for a couple of months before he passed, and so he passed away and wasn't able to finish with us, but his parents were invited to the graduation, his parents and his sister, and so his parents and his sister gave a speech which had us all crying our eyes out.
And that was so sad. Like, oh. And
yeah, like he graduated in our hearts, you know, he graduated with us. But yeah, like that was my graduation, which was all online, and which was awkward because they had invited some people to go take pictures.
And the animations they made for you guys was also so...
Yeah, because they like asked people to go to the school to take pictures with like the graduation hats and the robes, but there was a lot of people who opted not to go. I was one of the people that opted not to go because
we're literally in a pandemic, and
and it was in one of like the highest peaks of the pandemic, so I was like, no. So also about the fact that like I have like social anxiety, and so spending a bunch of months without seeing anyone and then suddenly having to go and see everyone was like a big no for me, and I was like, no. And so,
and also like in general, I feel like a lot of people had social anxiety like right after like the pandemic got really serious, because everybody was like, what if I get sick from my friends, and they're like not wanting it to do it on purpose, but what if they do it, like. And
so some people took pictures. The people that opted not to take pictures had to take a picture here at home, and then they were gonna edit the robe and the like the hat
thing passing from one side to the other
onto like the picture. And I guess they grabbed somebody off the streets to do the editing, because they were just wonderful pictures. But like,
and the editing was just stellar, baller, like 10 out of 10.
And so I guess everyone was just cringing at their pictures of them graduating. But like, yeah, that was a graduation. The school even like promised us that once the pandemic was over, they would like make us a graduation, because guys, my generation spent so much, like we went through so much efforts to like collect money for our graduation. Like which
by the way, I just thought it was total BS, and I wish we had a lawyer, somebody to like sue the heck out of your school, like, because we sold, honestly,
like we sold like every Friday we sold crepes. We did blood, sweat, and tears, making activities, cooking, bringing tacos, making all sorts of foods and everything to like sell, to raise money for our graduation.
And it was like their hard work for their graduation.
Yeah. And we raised a lot of money, guys. Like, I'm not going to tell you how much, but we raised a lot of money for our graduation. It was going to be a good graduation. We had a sponsor for the drinks. We had, like, They
literally put in the effort, guys.
Yeah, we had a sponsor for the drinks. We had money to make ourselves an after party and a sponsor.
Why the heck did you give the money to the school to begin with? Why didn't one person just keep it?
We had reserved the place where we were going to go to the graduation, which was a good portion of our money, but it was our money.
Gold diggers, the school is. Gold diggers.
And then, by the point we knew that we weren't going to be able to, like, make the graduation, we had to, like, be like, okay, so what are we going to do now? Because there was a large division in our group of, like, whether we were going to do the graduation or whether we were not going to do the graduation. A lot of people said, let's not do the graduation because obviously it's the
dangerous.
Situation. Yeah, like it's.
But
really
was that with the school or like just between you guys?
Between us.
Okay.
We were like, we shouldn't, because we knew that if we didn't do the graduation, we were gonna lose the money of the event, because, like the place where we were gonna do the event, because we didn't have a refund and they were gonna keep the money, so we had to consider that, and then like.
But even past that, you still had a lot of money, like.
Yeah. because that was, let's say, maybe a quarter of all the money that we had, no? And so then we had to, like, decide, like, do we want it, do we not want it? In the end, it was decided that we weren't gonna have a graduation, so we were like, okay, that's it. And then we decided as a generation, let's not let that event place go to waste, and let's instead, like, pass that on to the next generation. And so we like, the people in charge talked to the people of the place, and they were like, is it possible for you to extend the period of time so that the next generation can have their graduation there, and with the money that we raised. And they had agreed, so that was, like, settled. And so then there was the other
money
3/4 of the money we had raised, and the school said, you know what, we're gonna keep it. Yeah, you maybe can have 1/4, but we're definitely gonna keep half of it. And so I think literally the school gave us 1/4 of that money we raised, and then we split it into, like, the whole generation. But, like, it was very dicky, because they literally kept, I think in the end, like, we calculated it was 80% of the money we had raised. And so
I don't know how the math was there, because
yeah, I know, because now I remember literally saying, like, that we were sitting, like, yeah, they kept 80% of the money, but
oh, they're absolute a-holes.
So we received very little, and then the school promised, like, I guess to make us feel better, I don't know, they were like, we promise you guys that once the pandemic is over, I give you my word, you're gonna have your graduation. 2 freaking generations have had their graduation. We've heard zilch from them, whatever. But yeah, how was graduation-less?
Moneyless too.
Moneyless. I guess I learned how to make crepes from that. Let's take a positive out of it.
But that was before the pandemic, dude.
And
that was you getting money for your graduation, like.
Yeah, but I mean, I passed the IB. My family was safe. My immediate family was safe.
Yeah.
My grandparents ended up getting COVID twice. We lost a few men and women
in our family.
May they rest in peace.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys, if we seem very insensitive, but I am not a serious person, so I can't. But yeah, like, it was a roller coaster of emotions. That's why I say, like, up and down, because in general I feel like I'm a very, like, relaxed person.
Yeah.
So I was very conscious of everything that was going on around. I was definitely worried for, like, a lot of my family and friends and everything. But at the same time, I knew that life had to go on, and I ended up taking a gap year after high school, which was something that I decided before the pandemic, but which I am really grateful that I did, because just things
because of the pandemic.
Yeah, but, like, things changed so much. I think, like, we were forced to, like, reconsider a lot of our career like, options and choices because of just how they changed in, like, in business and in general.
Which is still today. Like, it's still a thing today.
Yeah, but, like, that was... I really need to pee, dude. Can I go pee? I'm, like, peeing myself. But that's my speech. Pass it on to Pamela.
I'll wait for you because I also need to pee. So we'll be back in a second. Okay, we're back.
This is my baby. Say hello.
She doesn't care.
Look.
Say hi to everybody. They're right there.
Say hi. See, my name is Mia.
No, also, don't go on the table.
See, also Amelia. I'm gonna go now.
This is cream.
Say bye, everyone.
We figured out the smell.
It was chicken.
It was really bad chicken, and I stuck my nose in it just to verify that it was, and I almost died. Oh, it was horrible.
Was pooping and gagging involved.
Honestly, I almost died. I thought it
feels like we've been gone. The story sounds like we've been gone for so long. It's been like 5 minutes. This all happened within 5 minutes.
Yeah, but like, I thought I was gonna die. I honestly thought my entrails were gonna come out of my mouth because I was like,
"Ew!" I was like, I heard it from the toilet.
It was horrible, and I don't know why my instinct was just to stick my nose into it.
It's because Pamela is kind of stupid. Pamela has no instinct.
I just thought it wasn't gonna be the chicken, so like when I went for it,
I think literally my first thought was the chicken. But
you said frijoles.
I said it smells like beans, but I think it might be the chicken.
Okay. Well, I was more confident with it being the frijoles than the chicken, so that's why I stuck my nose into it.
I was saying frijoles instead of beans.
and then I smelled it, and Jesus, some tears came out. Like, honestly, it was so bad.
Oh my God, you just sounded like Aaron there.
Aaron? Oh.
Dude, we've been talking for 20 minutes. This is a podcast about me. Oh my god. Oh, I'm sweating now. A lot has happened. I'm really sweating.
Well, I don't know if I should tell my story. We should leave it for another time.
You're gonna be like, I came here. That's it.
What?
I flew to Mexico and I've been here since.
It's a bit more complicated than that.
Oh, I'm so sweaty. Well, no, it's literally been 30 minutes.
That's why I'm saying I don't know if I should say my story or just leave it for another time.
I guess this is a podcast of my experience.
About Astrid with my commentary inside.
Well, they want to have Pamela with my commentary on this. And maybe we won't have like chicken.
Yeah, and I won't die in the process of checking. Oh, guys, that was so much. Honestly,
guys, we started watching Heartstoppers.
Yeah.
Really off topic.
Yeah.
It's very beautiful.
Oh my god, you guys should see us watching it because
we're kind of freaking out. But anyways,
yeah.
It's the first show I think that I can't watch like straight on because
straight
of
on,
the pressure.
no eye contact.
I literally have to look at Pamela and side watch it. I get so nervous.
Honestly, yeah, I feel like it's so relatable with like just high school crushes in general, like just how you feel like you can't make eye contact with your crush or whatever.
I watch it like this.
Yeah.
Anyways, I guess that's it for
Yeah.
this episode. Ended really weird. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. I mean,
Yeah.
what was your experience like in the life?
What's your experience like?
What was your experience like in the pandemic? Were you a 2020 high school graduate then?
Or like
even
a college graduate? Like, I
even?
really want to know what it was like for a college graduate because, like, I was in the second year of my
Uni?
Yeah, like going to my last one, so.
Yeah, so let us know what your experience was like. You can DM us on Instagram or on
Tell
TikTok.
us any funny story you had in the pandemic. I think it'd be fun if we start, like, reading stories of other people.
Yeah. So you can look us up on TikTok at Chubby Chats or on my Instagram at Astrid Moreno, ASTRIIDMORENO. And on YouTube, if you're watching from YouTube, you can just put it in the comments. And I think that's it. What else do you want to add? Your social media?
Oh, well, my social media is just on YouTube at Pamela Moira, Moera, and
you can follow me on my personal TikTok, which
is a fan account for F1.
Yeah, I make a lot of F1 videos. So Astrid_Moreno F1. Also with a double I. We're stalking someone apparently.
Our neighbors.
But yeah, that is all for today. Hope you guys enjoyed and have a beautiful weekend. Goodbye.
Bye.